Have you ever felt uneasy around someone, like their smile didn't match their eyes? You can't explain it, but something inside you whispers, "Be careful." That quiet warning is your intuition, recognizing what your mind tries to ignore. Some people wear kindness like a mask. They mirror warmth, but it's hollow. They offer friendship, but it's performance. Evil isn't loud, it's polite. It hides in flattery, false concern, and strategic silence. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The world is full of actors. Learn to see the stage." Those words weren't poetry. They were survival. Because fake people don't just waste your time. They drain your energy, twist your peace, and make you question your own perception. But a Stoic doesn't chase explanations or revenge. He observes. He protects his energy. He chooses peace over performance. Today, we'll uncover 7 red flags that reveal fake people and learn how Stoic wisdom turns awareness into power. 1. They praise you in public, but envy you in private. Fake people are masters of performance. They applaud you in public, yet in private, their applause turns into quiet resentment. They smile when others are watching. But when the lights go off, their energy shifts. Their eyes change. Their silence grows heavier. You feel it, even if you can't explain it. It starts small. Compliments that sound supportive but carry a sting. "You're so lucky. I wish I had your life." Or, "Must be nice to have it all figured out." Each word seems harmless, yet it's soaked in envy, and envy, as Epictetus said, is the confession of inferiority. A person who cannot celebrate your growth is secretly imprisoned by their own comparison. Stoicism teaches that envy is not about you, it's about their lack of control. A Stoic never lets others' emotions dictate his peace. When someone praises you with bitterness, it's not your job to correct them. It's your signal to observe, not absorb. Marcus Aurelius once warned, "When you meet someone who seems impressed by you, question whether it's admiration or calculation." Because admiration can quickly turn to imitation, and imitation, when not grounded in virtue, breeds jealousy. Fake people love standing near your light, hoping some of it reflects on them, but the moment that light grows brighter than theirs, they flinch. So how does a Stoic respond? Not with confrontation, not with gossip, but with distance. Quiet distance. You don't need to expose their envy. Time will. People who praise for attention always reveal themselves when they're not the center of it. Your power lies in calm observation. Notice who celebrates your wins without needing credit. Notice who supports your growth even when it outshines theirs. These are your true allies. The rest, let them drift away. Remember this: praise without sincerity is poison in disguise. You don't need applause to validate your worth. You need awareness to protect it. When you see envy hiding behind flattery, smile. Not out of arrogance, but out of understanding. You've seen the mask slip, and you choose not to engage, because real peace begins the moment you stop reacting to counterfeit love. And the moment you stop chasing validation, fake people lose their power. 2. They mirror you to manipulate trust. At first, they seem perfect. They like the same music, quote the same authors, agree with your opinions, and even copy the way you speak. You think, finally, someone who understands me. But what feels like connection is often imitation, a calculated reflection designed to lower your guard. Fake people study you like a mirror. They repeat your phrases, your gestures, your values, not because they share them, but because they know reflection creates comfort. They make you feel seen so they can get closer, but once they have what they want, your trust, your secrets, your loyalty, the mask slips. Suddenly, the warmth fades. The empathy vanishes. What's left is control. Stoicism teaches that true character is constant. Imitation changes with opportunity. Epictetus wrote, "It is not what a man says that reveals him, but what he repeats when no one listens." A Stoic understands this. The more someone rushes to resemble you, the more they hide their emptiness. Real connection grows slowly through shared virtue, not instant chemistry built on performance. Think of it like this. A mirror can only reflect light. It cannot generate it. A person who mirrors everything you do has no internal flame. They only glow when they stand near yours, and when you step back, they go dark. The modern world is full of people who wear borrowed identities. On social media, in relationships, even at work, imitation becomes currency. But the Stoic path is authenticity. It means acting from principle, not imitation. It means standing in truth even if it makes you different. Because nothing is lonelier than being surrounded by people who pretend to be you. When you sense someone mirroring you too perfectly, pause. Don't confront. Observe. Let time test them. A fake reflection fades under pressure. A real friend remains consistent even when you disagree. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Let your own nature be your constant guide." When you live by that, you'll start seeing who's drawn to your light and who's only attracted to your reflection. So protect your energy. Don't confuse flattery with understanding. Don't mistake reflection for connection. And remember, a Stoic doesn't crave to be seen. He craves to be real. Because authenticity doesn't echo, it radiates. 3. They love your weak moments. Pay attention to the ones who rush to comfort you when you're at your lowest, but disappear when you rise again. They say, "I'm here for you." But what they really mean is, "I'm here while you're below me." Fake people crave proximity to your weakness, not your strength. Because when you're strong, you remind them of everything they refuse to become. It feels safe at first. They listen, they sympathize, they play the role of the caring friend. But look closer. Their comfort feeds on your pain. They don't offer guidance, they offer dependency. They don't lift you, they anchor you. And every time you start to heal, they find a way to pull you back into the storm. Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." People who cling to your struggles often do so because your weakness validates their stagnation. If you heal, they lose their mirror. They can no longer feel superior by comparison. The Stoics taught that real compassion helps others stand on their own feet, not keep them kneeling. Marcus Aurelius practiced this in the darkest hours of his reign. When others sought pity, he offered perspective. When others demanded sympathy, he offered discipline. Because love that feeds weakness is not love. It's control disguised as care. So how do you deal with those who thrive when you're down? You stay calm. You stop oversharing. You stop performing your pain for validation. Not everyone who listens deserves access to your inner world. A Stoic doesn't hide his emotions. He guards where he places them. When you're hurting, listen more, talk less. Real friends won't need details to support you. They'll sense your silence and hold space without feeding the drama. Fake ones will probe, not to help, but to collect information, to keep you within reach of their comfort zone. Seneca warned, "The one who pities too easily may wish for your suffering to continue." It sounds cruel, but it's true. Some people only feel significant when you feel small. Your peace begins when you stop mistaking emotional dependency for love. Not everyone who helps you cry will help you grow. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to stand up alone, to let your silence say, "I'm healing without witnesses." Remember this, those who only love your broken version are not your people. They are addicted to the story where you need them. But you're not a story. You're a spirit capable of rebuilding without applause. True strength doesn't shout. It simply stops performing for people who can't handle your light. 4. They shift blame, but never take responsibility. There's a certain type of person who lives in constant defense mode. No matter what happens, they always find someone else to blame. The story changes every time. The setting, the details, the villains. But their role stays the same. They are never the cause, only the victim. It's subtle at first, almost believable. You start to think, maybe they're just unlucky, or maybe they're surrounded by toxic people. But eventually, the pattern becomes clear. The common denominator in every disaster is them. These people rewrite reality to protect their fragile sense of self. They can't stand the idea of being wrong, because being wrong would force them to look inward. And there's nothing more terrifying to a fake person than self-examination. So they rewrite, they rearrange, they redirect. They'll make you feel guilty for holding them accountable. They'll call you too sensitive, too serious, or too controlling. The moment you stop absorbing their chaos, they label you the problem. Epictetus warned us about this long ago. It is not the things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Blame is nothing more than distorted judgment, a refusal to see clearly. When someone refuses responsibility, what they're really saying is, I refuse to learn. And a person who refuses to learn becomes dangerous because they turn every relationship into a stage for their denial. Imagine arguing with someone who never admits fault. No matter how calm or logical you are, the conversation always ends the same way. You exhausted, they untouched. You start doubting your memory, your tone, your sanity. That's not a debate. That's manipulation. They're not looking for the truth. They're looking for a way out. The Stoics faced this kind of blindness constantly. Marcus Aurelius dealt with betrayal, incompetence, and politics. Yet he never pointed fingers. He wrote, "If it is my duty to bear it, I will." He understood something fake people never will, that strength is not about appearing flawless, but about owning your flaws with grace. A Stoic accepts responsibility because it's the only path to growth. When you take ownership, you gain control. When you shift blame, you hand it away. But fake people see responsibility as a threat. Accountability dismantles their illusions. It strips away the victim costume they hide behind. So they double down in excuses. They twist facts, rewrite timelines, weaponize your empathy. They'll say, I wouldn't have said that if you hadn't pushed me, or I only lied because I didn't want to hurt you. Every sentence sounds reasonable, but the motive is the same. Avoid responsibility. Maintain control. The Stoic response? Silence and observation. You don't need to prove anything to someone who's allergic to truth. Arguing with a blame shifter is like wrestling smoke. The harder you fight, the less you see. Instead, step back. Watch their pattern. People who never own their mistakes always repeat them, and eventually everyone else notices. You don't have to expose them. Reality will. Seneca wrote, "The wise man blames no one. Not even himself, but understands the cause." Understanding doesn't mean tolerating. It means seeing clearly, without emotion, without attachment. When you recognize someone who refuses responsibility, you're witnessing a person at war with their own reflection. Their chaos is not yours to fix. So stop accepting guilt that doesn't belong to you. Stop rewriting your memories to make others comfortable. Your peace is not a negotiation, it's a boundary. Let the blame fall where it naturally belongs, on the one who created it. Remember, calm detachment is the most powerful response to manipulation. You don't need to defend your truth. You just need to live it long enough for the noise to expose itself. Because peace doesn't come from being right. It comes from being real. And being real means taking responsibility for your side of the story. then refusing to carry anyone else's. 5. They gossip to you, then about you. There's a strange comfort in hearing someone gossip. It makes you feel chosen, trusted, as if you've been granted access to secret knowledge. But here's the truth the Stoics knew well. The one who gossips to you will inevitably gossip about you. Because gossip isn't about truth, it's about power. It's a performance disguised as intimacy. It begins harmlessly. They lower their voice, glance around, and say, "Don't tell anyone I told you this." You lean in, curious. They feed you a story, half true, half twisted, about someone you both know. You feel closer, like an insider. But what you don't realize is that you've just stepped into a silent contract of complicity. You've been recruited into their theater of whispers. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone tells you something about another, you can be sure they will tell another something about you." The Stoics understood gossip as mental pollution, the kind that poisons both speaker and listener. Because when you listen to slander, you allow another's bitterness to enter your mind and shape your perception of the world. Gossipers feed on reaction. They crave your nods, your curiosity, your little bursts of outrage. Every time you respond, they feel validated. They're not spreading information, they're spreading influence. They measure their importance by how many stories they control. And soon, they start controlling you. The most dangerous thing about gossip is how normal it feels. It dresses up as empathy. I just want you to know so you don't get hurt. It pretends to be loyalty. I'm telling you because I care. But what it really seeks is leverage, something to use later when the balance of power shifts. A Stoic sees through this illusion. Epictetus warned, "What concerns others' deeds or words is none of your business." The wise don't feed on the failures of others. They study their own. Because gossip is a distraction from self-mastery. The more you talk about others, the less you face yourself. Think about it. Every minute spent analyzing someone else's flaws is a minute stolen from your own growth. Every rumor you pass along becomes a chain that binds you to small minds. And small minds always talk about people. Great minds observe them in silence. So how does a Stoic deal with gossip? With stillness. When someone tries to pull you into their drama, don't react. Don't match their tone. Just breathe. Let the silence stretch until the conversation dies. You'll notice how quickly gossip loses power when it doesn't get oxygen. Over time, your silence becomes a mirror. It makes gossipers uncomfortable because it reveals their motives. They realize you're not there for entertainment. You're there for truth. And truth has no appetite for rumors. Seneca once wrote, "Associate with those who make you better." The opposite is also true. Distance yourself from those who make you smaller through idle words. Protect your mental space the way a warrior protects his fortress. Because words, once allowed in, shape thought, and thought shapes destiny. When you stop participating in gossip, something profound happens. Peace returns. You stop fearing what others say about you because you no longer engage in the same currency. Your silence becomes your filter, a quiet declaration that you refuse to trade your integrity for social approval. So next time someone leans in and says, "Can I tell you something about them?" Smile gently and think, if they talk about others to me, they'll talk about me to others. Then choose silence. Not out of arrogance, but out of discipline. Because peace isn't built on secrets, it's built on self-control. 6. They vanish when you set boundaries. Pay close attention to the people who disappear the moment you stop saying yes. The ones who celebrate your generosity, your time, your attention, until you start setting limits. Suddenly, they grow distant. Their warmth turns cold. Their compliments fade. It's as if your boundaries broke the illusion that kept them close. Fake people don't love you. They love your compliance. They're addicted to what you give, not who you are. When you say no, you expose the truth of the connection. Was it built on respect or on convenience? Stoic philosophy teaches that relationships built on need are fragile. Relationships built on virtue are eternal. Epictetus wrote, "He who depends on another for his peace has surrendered it." And the same applies in reverse. Those who depend on your compliance for their comfort never truly valued you. They valued the version of you that served them. Think of how often this happens quietly. You say you're tired and can't meet tonight, and they take it personally. You decline to help again, and suddenly you're different now. What they really mean is, you're no longer under my control. Boundaries are the ultimate truth serum. They reveal who's aligned with your peace and who's addicted to your availability. To a manipulator, your boundaries are rejection. To a Stoic, they're self-respect. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The nearer a thing is to peace, the more it will seem like resistance to those who live in chaos." When you begin to protect your energy, you threaten those who feed on it. They'll accuse you of being selfish, distant, or arrogant. Not because you are, but because your calm exposes their dependency. The Stoic response is not anger, it's understanding. You don't need to chase those who vanish when you draw a line. Their absence is information. It shows you exactly what role they came to play, and how little they were capable of staying once the performance ended. Real connection survives boundaries. True friends don't need constant access. They honor your space because they have their own. Fake ones disappear because control was their only link. So, how do you deal with this kind of disappearance? You don't. You let them go with grace. A Stoic doesn't beg for people to stay. He allows truth to sort them out. Detachment isn't cold, it's clarity. You stop arguing, stop defending, stop explaining why your boundaries exist. You just live them. In the silence that follows, you'll notice something profound. Peace grows in the same space where chaos once demanded entry. The energy you once spent on managing others' emotions returns home, to your mind, your focus, your self-respect. Seneca wrote, "He who guards his peace guards his soul." And that's exactly what boundaries are. Spiritual armor. They're not walls, they're gates. You decide who enters, and for what reason. You decide how much of yourself you give away. And anyone who truly values you will never see that as control. They'll see it as dignity. So when people vanish as soon as you say no, let them. Don't chase them back into your life. Don't soften your boundary just to be liked. Their departure is your protection, not your loss. Because peace is not about keeping everyone close. It's about keeping the right ones close enough and the wrong ones far enough to hear their own echoes fade. 7. They compete instead of celebrate. Notice how some people can't handle your victories. They clap when you fail, but fall silent when you rise. They smile when you struggle, but their expression hardens when you succeed. It's subtle, a flicker in the eyes, a hesitation in their praise, a quiet withdrawal from your joy. You feel it, and for a moment, you doubt yourself. Am I imagining this? No, you're not. You're witnessing one of the clearest red flags of all, those who compete with you instead of celebrating you. Fake people don't want to share the light. They want to stand in front of it. When you succeed, it reminds them of their own stagnation. When you grow, it exposes how long they've been standing still. And instead of being inspired, they get defensive. They start keeping score. Suddenly, your win becomes a threat to their identity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What injures the hive injures the bee." The Stoics understood that jealousy fractures unity, whether in friendship, family, or community. A man who measures his worth by another's progress will never know peace because his focus is external. He lives in a race no one else agreed to run. This is how it looks in real life. You get promoted and they say, "Must be nice to have connections." You start a project and they reply, "I was thinking of doing that too." You achieve something meaningful and they change the subject. Every response reveals the same insecurity, the inability to celebrate anyone's success without feeling smaller. But here's the truth. People who compete secretly with you are telling you something profound. They've made your life their benchmark. Your presence exposes their potential, and their ego can't bear it. The Stoic doesn't compete. He contributes. He doesn't compare journeys, because he knows every path has its own terrain, its own storms, its own timing. Seneca wrote, "No man is truly free who is ruled by comparison." And that is the essence of Stoic strength. To be grounded enough to admire without envy, to celebrate without measure, to grow without rivalry. So how do you deal with those who can't celebrate you? You stop shrinking to make them comfortable. You stop downplaying your wins just to protect fragile egos. A Stoic neither boasts nor hides. He simply stands in truth. He lets his work speak, his results echo, and his silence teach. When you start rising, not everyone will clap. And that's okay. You weren't meant to be understood by those who fear their own reflection. People who love you will feel your joy as their own. People who envy you will feel your joy as their loss. Let that difference be your filter. The Stoics believed that envy is cured not by confrontation, but by distance. You don't need to prove that you deserve your success. You need to preserve the peace it cost you to earn it. Walk with humility, but never with apology. Your growth is not an attack. It's a revelation. Remember this. When others compete, you stay composed. When others compare, you stay centered. When others disappear, you stay consistent. Because a true Stoic doesn't rise to be admired. He rises to fulfill his potential. And he celebrates quietly, knowing that peace is louder than applause. Now you know the 7 red flags. The patterns that expose fake people hiding behind polite smiles. You've seen how envy, imitation, gossip, blame, and competition all share the same root. Insecurity disguised as friendship. But remember, Stoicism doesn't teach us to hate these people. It teaches us to understand them, to see clearly without judgment, to step back without bitterness. You can't control who wears a mask, but you can control whether you invite them into your peace. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Your peace, your boundaries, your silence. These are not walls, they're wisdom. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who wronged you." So rise above imitation, walk away from drama, and let your calm become your proof. Comment below, "I choose peace over fakeness," because in the end, nothing exposes falsehood faster than a mind that stays still.